everyone. This is Erika of the storytellingjuveler.com, and I am here because I will be your guest teacher in May when we will learn the basics of bead embroidery together. So first, please let me know in a comment if you can hear me, if you can see me well, where are you watching from? I am really excited to meet you here. And first of all, I would like to thank Anita for having me here as a guest teacher. I am really looking forward to learning to teaching bead embroidery to you and to learning, to helping you learn all the basic stitches. So, let's see who is here. From Louisiana. I don't see names in my program for some reason, but yeah, we have here Sharon, Anita, Lori from Toronto, Kim, Zuzi, Carol from New Jersey. Oh, that's great. I'm really happy that it works, that you can hear me and you can see me. So, what is going to happen today and what is going to happen in May? I brought one of my most favorite projects to you, and we will learn all the basic stitches and all the tricks through the traveler design. And this is an example. And this is a necklace, but we can create brooches or we can create necklaces also. It's even possible to make earrings or bracelets, but I will tell you more about that later. So we have beaders joining in from Romania from Czech Republic, from Düsseldorf, from Germany, from Texas, Ontario. Oh wow, The Hague from the Netherlands. Great, Ohio. Great. So, a bit of introduction first. My name is Erika Sandor, and I'm a full-time beadwork designer and teacher. I'm Hungarian, but I live in the Netherlands at the moment. And you can you can know my work from my page, thestorytellingjuveler.com. All the pieces which I create, they come with a little story. They are not just a combination of pieces of glass or stones, but there is always a special memory, a special thought connected to them. And the Traveler collection is actually a great example. So, before telling you about all the different kinds of beads and components and tools, what you will need for creating something like this, I would like to actually tell you a story and to show you an example and tell you why I find the Traveler collection special and why I decided to bring it to you. So let me go back a couple of years and let me begin with this small airplane. So a couple of years ago, I was lucky enough to visit the beautiful country of Nicaragua. And we decided, I was together with my husband, we decided that we are going to fly to a little island next to the mainland part of Nicaragua. So we boarded this small airplane to give you some perspective that how small it was. Look at this. This is the pilot who was sitting in front of me, and that's the runway when we were landing on the island of Corn. And when traveling on this airplane, I sat next to a girl. Here we are. I am on the right-hand side, and she is on the left-hand side. I was sitting next to this girl And we started to talk, and we found out that she lives in the same country as us. And then it came apparent that she lives in the same street as us. So something really special began there. We found out also that we already made a booking for a guest house, for the same guest house. And we were diving together. We ended up diving together for a full week, hunting coconuts during the day and filling up the coconuts with a bit of rum during the evenings. And our meetings did not stop. I should be back. Can you hear me now? The connection was lost for a little bit. So, can you hear me now? Can you see me now? The connection was lost a bit. I hope so. So back to this friend of mine. We ended up spending this wonderful week on the island of Little Corn in Nicaragua. Then we took separate ways, and I continued my travels. And during the rest of the 2 weeks which we spent in Nicaragua, I collected different kind of things. We climbed some volcanoes. I brought back these lava stones from the slopes of the volcanoes. Then we went to the jungle and the rainforest, and I collected some special stones, which, well, they might not even look ordinary, but they seemed like they could be used in a piece of jewelry in the future. And I love to connect different kinds of coins. So when we were visiting cities in Nicaragua, then I was also collecting coins. And after we returned, then Hilda, my new friend, she was celebrating her birthday. And what I did was that I created this pendant for her using a coin from Nicaragua. So now every time when she wears this necklace, then she remembers the great times we had together. And I know that she loves to wear this a lot. So for me, I would like to invite you to create something similar and to create a piece which will hold a special piece in your heart and will always remind you of a special place you have visited. So this time we will not use a traditional cabochon as a focal piece, but I invite you to use a coin. It can be a coin which you brought back from a foreign country to remind you of a beautiful trip to somewhere special. But I have to say that these days during isolation, I kind of miss my own city too. So you can also, since I can't take as many walks as I'm used to, so it would, I think, also be really nice if you chose a coin from your own country to show your love and appreciation towards the place where you live. So I hope you like the idea. And so I hope you like the idea. And now I would like to walk you through the list of material. I created a printable file for you. With Anita, we will upload this file to the group after the broadcast. And it's basically a list And then while you are collecting material during the next 2 weeks, then you can tick off everything on it to when you feel like it's ready. So let's begin. Let's get back down to business. So I will tell you about all the parts of the design. And then at the end, I am very happy to answer all kinds of questions you might have. I will also try to keep an eye on the comments in between. So when a question pops up, then I'm more than happy to answer it, of course. So for bead embroidery, you will need a kind of a base where you are going to embroider. And my favorite kind of base, and my favorite beading foundation is called Ultra Suede. And it's a special material which can't be torn. It can't be, it's not fraying, and it can't be torn. So it is perfect for this, for embroidering. Also, why I like it, that there are no little pieces of thread coming out of it. It's an ultra microfiber material. And actually, when you feel like you would like to unpick something, then you can easily do so, and there will be no holes left in the material. So it's just perfect. Then you will also need a kind of a backing to cover the stitches on the back of the pendant or the brooch. And for that, you can use either another layer of Ultra Suede, but also you can use imitation leather or real leather. It's completely up to you. And sometimes when I do bigger pieces or some more intricate shapes, then I also like to use something in between the 2 layers, between the Ultra Suede and between the backing. And it can be a special material called Lacey's Stiff Stuff, or lately I started to use waxed thin cardboard. So my dirty secret, I'm collecting chocolate papers. I eat a lot of chocolate and drink a lot of coffee. And I'm collecting this kind of like thicker chocolate papers, and I use them for backing my bead embroidery pieces in between the actual backing and in between the foundation, to keep it more, keep the whole structure stronger. So this about the foundation and the layers. And of course, for the main component, you will need a coin. And as I said, you can use a coin from a different country, or you can use a coin from your own. What is important, that the coin has to be a little bit thicker. So maybe choose a bigger denomination. The coins I use, they are about 2 millimeters, 2 millimeters thick. And I have a large collection of coins because I love to bring back coins from all the different countries I visit. Besides beading, traveling is my true passion. And the traveler collection actually started by this collection. First was the collection, but then I thought, like, all the coins, they are sitting in a box. It would be so much better to actually see them on, like, even if not on a daily basis, but like really like have them in my, as part of my life. So this about the focal component, and I would like to show you a detail of one of my pieces to explain what you need. Just a moment. Please forgive me, I need to upload one more picture to the broadcast so I can show it to you better. Yes. So we already have a question about the coins, by the way. What's the best way to clean a coin that's been in circulation? You can use some solution, alcohol-based solution, to clean the coins, and then to like degrease them so they stick to the foundation better. I would say that's the best. But you can also just spray it with a bit of normal cleaning liquid, what you use, for example, for your bathroom or kitchen, and then clean it with a piece of cloth. And we have a suggestion. One of our beading friends tells that sometimes I put them in pure lemon juice. That's a great idea. Or metal cleaner, and toothpaste works for many metals. All great ideas. Thank you so much. So, after the coin, you will need seed beads also to attach the coin to the foundation. So, you will need, I use primarily Miyuki beads, but Toho works well too. So, you will need cylinder-shaped beads in size 11, the yellow ones around the coin. You can use Miyuki Delica or Toho Treasure, or if you are a true perfectionist, then you can, of course, use Aiko beads. And yeah, we have 2 more questions about the coins. Did you try to put some kind of coating to coins? I haven't tried that yet, but I think it would totally be possible. Why not? And large coin or small coin? My coins are about, what I like to use, about like 2 or 3 centimeters wide. So that would be like around an inch at least. It's better to work with them if they are a little bit bigger. Don't use the very, very small ones, but all kinds of bigger ones will work fine. You don't have to go very, very precise on the size. That's also why I love bead embroidery, because it gives you a lot of freedom and it's very hard to actually go wrong. So, coins, seed beads. So, seed beads, Miyuki Delica 11 or Toho Treasure 11. And you also need size 15 round seed beads. These two kinds of seed beads, the cylinder-shaped 11s and the round-shaped 15s, they are essentials. You have to have them to complete this project. But then the rest of the design, it's actually completely up to you. I will show you all different kinds of stitches, and you will design the rest of the pendant or the brooch yourself. And there you can add also smaller or bigger seed beads. It's completely up to you. And after the seed beads, let's get to the part with which is like around the focal piece, around the bezel. So I love to use cup chains. Cup chains are rhinestones which come in a metal setting, and the metal setting, the tiny rhinestones, they are connected into a kind of a chain. Let me show you. Here I have a lot of different ones. So this is how they look like. And they come in different sizes, and I use 2.5, 3 millimeter wide cup chains. They are also called rhinestone chains when you are going to search for them. And besides the cup chains, I love to use, you can use fire polished beads, you can use pearls, 2, 3, 4 millimeter big fire polished beads and pearls. You can also add some rather flat 2-hole beads. Like, for example, in this brooch, which I am showing on the screen now, I added some Miyuki Tilla beads, but half tillas or quarter tillas would work fine too. I will show you the stitches, how to attach them to the fabric. And you can also add, if you like this effect, then you see that you can also add dagger beads. They can be with 1 hole or 2 holes. It doesn't matter. There is a way to attach both versions. And besides all these fun beads, you can also use some extra components. So, to give you some examples, for example, on top of this brooch, I glued on a filigree component, and then on the filigree, I glued on a little flat back rhinestone. It actually covers the place where the daggers and the other kind of circles are connected. And I think it gives this brooch a really nice lacy effect. And the filigree, it goes so nice with this special Sri Lankan lettering, I think. But you can also use, it doesn't have to be a filigree. You can also use other kinds of metal components which can be glued on. They have to have a kind of a flat back, so we are able to attach them to the design. And here in this brooch, I used a little charm. I cut off the loop of on the top of the head of the cat with side cutting pliers, and then I filed it a little bit with filing paper, so it's not so visible. It's not visible anymore that there was a loop originally. So you can also add all kinds of charms on top of your design. And back to that necklace with the key, you can even add charms at the bottom of the design itself. You can add metal charms, or you can actually add a tassel, or you can attach a pendant drop. It's up to you. I would also like to show a pair of earrings I have made here. So here I kept the design, the part around the coins, simpler, but then I added a long hanging part and I attached a Swarovski pendant drop with a bead cap and some rondelle beads. And yeah, these were those kinds of components which you can use, but you don't have to. They don't have a function. They are just as decoration. But you have to decide, you don't have to decide like right now, but along the process as we are working on the Traveler, you will have to decide if you would like to make a brooch or an earring. And you can also use a simple brooch base. I will show you how to attach that one, but I also love to use these kinds of filigree brooch bases, because I think like it's really nice when you also finish the pieces in an interesting way. So when you turn them around, it's still like one more times wow. So There is a question, is there a way to bezel it and still have the year show on the coin? It really depends, like, on the coin itself. Like, if you have something on the very edge of the coin, then it will be covered by the beads. You have to count in with a little bit of place on the edge of the coin, which will be covered by the beads. There are different ways of attaching focal beads to a bead embroidered pendant, but in this month we are going to work on something like this. And there was another question if earrings are heavy. Well, I have to say that I really like to wear big earrings. So for me, like, the bigger the better. So I don't mind if they are a bit heavier, especially if they are like really festive and I wear them only for special occasions. But the ones I showed you, they are actually not heavy at all. And another reading friend, sorry, for some reason I don't see your names showing up in my program. Usually when I'm doing these broadcasts, then I see the name of who's commenting, but I don't see your names for some reason, only as Facebook user. So another friend, she's telling me, I'm wondering about having 2 or more coins in some kind of design for the same reason. That's absolutely possible. In bead embroidery, you have all the freedom you want to have. And oh, I see such a nice comment here. I love your enthusiasm. These look like nice projects. Thank you for giving us something to look forward to. Thank you for your nice comment, and I'm really looking forward to beading with you. Bead embroidery is my true love, so this is going to be exciting. Okay, so back to the functional components. So here we had the brooch base, but of course, if you can't find something like this, it's also possible to add a simple brooch base. And in case that you would like to create a pendant, here it is, then we will create the bail of the pendant from beads, and then it's completely up to you that what kind of cord would you like to use. So in this case, I used a silk cord, but I know that this month you are learning kumihimo, so you can also make a nice kumihimo necklace to go with it. Or, for example, the necklace I am wearing now, I actually crocheted a cord to go with it. It's up to you. Or with the necklace with the coin from the UK, I just used actually a chain, because I thought that goes in the best way with this kind of design. So about the tools, you will of course need scissors. I like to have separate scissors for fabrics, because if you cut something else, for example, paper or cord with the scissors, then the fabric scissors will lose their sharpness. So I like to have one designated scissors, one pair of scissors for fabrics. And then, of course, you will need something to cut your paper or laces with. And you will need thread burner or a cutter for your beading thread. I like to alternate between number 10 and number 12 beading needles. I use all different kinds. I like to use tulips. I like to use pony needles. The best ones are, of course, the tulip needles. And yeah, in the meanwhile, we have some questions. So one of our friends says, I have made pendants using US quarters. They turned out beautiful. I'm looking forward to your lessons. I'm looking forward to beading with you too. Niti, hello Niti. She says, what is the lace silk you used at the previous one? It is nice thickness for a bigger piece. It's, I think, 1 centimeter wide, and it's a flat silk cord. Yeah, and I agree. It comes in all different colors, and it goes really well with the bead embroidered pendants. Another beading friend asks, will it be possible to not use the caption? I don't have any and had hoped to avoid placing any orders. Absolutely. Don't worry. The beads and components I told you about when talking about the part around the coin, that's completely up to you. That what would you like to use or what would you like to avoid? You can use cap chain, but you don't have to. You can use fire polished beads, you can use pearls, you can use the tilla beads, daggers, whatever you like. It's nice to combine different kinds of beads and different sizes, but nothing is obligatory in this part. Don't worry. So, what is the name of the fabric used for the backing? For the foundation, I use Ultra Suede. We will upload. Sorry, I really apologize if my pronunciation is not correct. English is my third language, so yeah. I will upload a printable file where you will have all the details, so you will have the correct spelling of Ultra Suede there. I think she had the laces sandwiched between other layers. Yes, I put the laces in between. I like to embroider on the Ultra Suede. I like to back it with leather or fake leather, and in between goes either laces or either the thin cardboard from chocolate. But I know that some beaders, for example, like to embroider directly on the laces. So you will also need to test that a little bit, that what do you like and what is better for you. It's the same as with beading thread and with beading needles. Back to thread. My favorite type of thread is Fireline, and I like to use the 0.12 millimeters is, I think, 4 lb in American measurements, Fireline. And but with bead embroidery, it's not that crucial that what kind of thread do you use. You can also use Nemo, the Toho beading thread, whatever. If it's something thinner, then I like to double my thread. I even double my Fireline just to be extra sure that that even if an accident happens, then it will not fall apart that easily. But actually, truth to be told, I'm embroidering for like 15 years, and it never happened that something would fall apart. It's just my way of doing it. And you will also need glue. I like to use E6000, or lately, thanks to a friend, Katalin, who gifted me, who gifted me a new type of glue. I discovered F6000. This is from the same family as E6000. It's extremely strong, but what I like about it is that it has a precision tip. So when I am applying the rhinestones, when I'm gluing the rhinestones, for example, then I can Just put there a tiny, tiny bit of glue exactly at the place where I want to put the rhinestone. But before I would have the F6000 and I was working with the E6000, then I just always had toothpicks on the side of my table, and then I applied glue with a toothpick. So it's also handy to have toothpicks in your beading box when you are embroidering. We have some more questions. In the meanwhile, reassuring me that my language is fine. Thank you so much. A friend is asking, is there a trick to knowing where you come up from the back, or is it just by experience? It's experience. You will learn it. Yeah, you are telling me that you use F6000 tool. Great. So besides these tools, you will of course need your usuals. You will need a beading mat. You will need a lamp. If you need a pair of glasses, then of course you need your glasses. And if you decide to use little metal charms, like I did in this brooch, the little cat, then you will also need pliers to remove the loop and sandpaper to file the top of the place where the loop has been before. So the file will go up to the group after this broadcast, but by now, do you have any more questions at this moment? By the way, if you tag me, then I will always come back and answer all questions you might have. So don't worry if something comes to your mind later when we finish this broadcast. But if you have a question on your mind at this moment, then don't hold yourself back. And yeah, I just wanted to show you maybe a couple more examples. For example, this one. Here you can see that I actually added a bead to the loop also, to the bail also, so you can also play with that part. And here an example that it's also possible to make a bracelet. If you have strong enough glue, then everything is possible. Someone is asking, have you used epoxy instead? Yes, before I would discover E6000 years and years ago, I used epoxy, but I'm a bit lazy and I didn't like it that I have to mix it, and I could never mix the exact amount what I needed. So then I was either frustrated because I just missed a little bit and had to mix some more, or I mixed too much and there were leftovers. So that's why I like E6000 and F6000, because you use exactly the amount what's needed for the piece, and there is no extra what you would have to throw away. Somebody's asking, if we do use leather for backing, do we need a different kind of needle? I am alternating between 12 and 10, number 12 and number 10. And yes, indeed, when I am working on the actual beading part, then I like to use the thinner needle. And when I am attaching the 3 layers to each other, then I like to switch to the thicker needle, especially when I'm using the chocolate papers. So the silk chains, I would love to give you a link, but actually I bought them like maybe 10 years ago. So that's not something, unfortunately, what I can help with. You can use all kinds of cords, what you like. I will do my best to research it, but at the moment I can't remember that where did I buy them. And well, if you don't have any more questions, if we don't have any more questions here, then I would like to thank you for your time, for listening to me. And I am really looking forward to this month what we will spend together here in the Seed Beads and More group. I will show you all kinds of tricks how to do embroidered pieces. I will walk you through the process. I will show you possibilities. And I hope to inspire you. And I hope that we will finish this, when we will finish this special month, then you will love embroidery at least as much as I do. Thank you very much for watching. Have a beautiful rest of the week. Take care and happy beading.